everybody, I'm Jonathan Randall, and welcome to another episode of How You Like Me Now. I hope everybody's doing well and having a fantastic summer. 1, 2, 3 times a douchebag. Everyone's favorite disgraced lame duck president has been indicted for the 3rd time. Hunter Biden! Yes, Hunter should be Diaper Don's cellmate if that'll make Trump's cult followers feel better. Trump has already been indicted for falsifying business records to pay a porn actor and for illegally keeping classified documents and trying to hide them from prosecutors. His latest indictment includes 4 crimes in his efforts to overturn the 2020 election that led to a violent riot by his worshipers at the Capitol. Trump knowingly lied about election fraud, tried to exploit the January 6th insurrection, tried to get Mike Pence to fraudulently alter election results, and tried to use the DOJ to conduct a bullshit election crime investigation, or what Trump supporters like to call an innocent man being the victim of politically motivated prosecution. Even if Trump is convicted, his supporters will be even more committed to him, and those who think he is a poor excuse for a human being will just despise him more. But a reality show where Trump and Hunter Biden are cellmates would be a huge hit and could be made even if the writers and actors strikes continue. The word anti-Semite gets thrown around a lot, especially by Zionists who use it to deflect Israel's flagrant human rights abuses. But anti-Semitism is a very real thing. And the scumbag who committed the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history has been sentenced to death for his killing of 11 people in 2018's massacre at the Tree of Life Synagogue. I think he's kind of getting off easy and would prefer to see him spending his whole life in prison while being continuously violated in his ass by his fellow white supremacist pieces of shit. This is the first federal death sentence that has been imposed during the Biden administration. Unfortunately, we lost one of my comedic inspirations this week. Paul Rubens, also known as Pee Wee Herman, who was an incredible artist and a pop culture icon. If you haven't seen Pee Wee's Big Adventure, go do so immediately. It's like you could listen to this podcast another time, but your life will be infinitely better after seeing it. It's an incredible film. You know, one of the Euphoria actors died, I guess, the same day, and I was like, you picked a bad day to overdose, buddy, because today is mourning for Pee Wee Day, all right? I rarely feel emotionally affected when celebrities die, but was super sad to hear about Paul Rubens, and am so grateful for his unique style of comedy, his imagination, and all the laughter he gave me. You were such an incredible talent, so loved, and you will be missed. Rest in peace, Paul Rubens. Another thing that's incredibly sad is the latest thing that Israel is taking away from Palestinians, which is grieving. Yeah, grieving. The nonprofit organization, the Parent Circle, has been banned from Israeli schools. The organization brings families together that have lost loved ones, whether they are Israeli or Palestinian. Not wanting Israeli children to know about Palestinian death and the impact it has on their loved ones is a prerogative of the right-wing fanatics who want to make sure Israeli children don't see Palestinians as human beings who deserve to grieve and are worthy of compassion. Banning bereavement isn't something that takes place in a democracy, all right? It's something that takes place in a fascist country. Right-wing Israelis don't want to find common ground with Palestinians, even in death. They're more interested in soaking the ground with Palestinian blood. I was pleased to see that over the weekend, thousands of Palestinians in Gaza protested against Hamas. Now, they weren't protesting against Hamas as a resistance movement, but as a government because of their poor living conditions, unemployment, lack of electricity, and corruption. I read a quote from one of the protesters that said, "We are tired of living in humiliation for years to come. The authorities in Gaza do not care about our suffering and do not want to find radical solutions to the problems that we have been suffering from for years. Does Hamas want us to remain silent forever? Our families suffer from poverty and hunger and the lack of the minimum necessities of life, which are electricity, water, and work." Another protester was quoted as saying, "We need to live in peace and obtain all our human rights, not only from Israel, but also from Hamas and Fatah." Hamas forces quickly broke up the protests and destroyed several mobile phones to prevent people from documenting them. I think this is really important and incredibly brave, because for a long time I have felt that Hamas wants to keep Palestinians living in inhumane conditions so they grow hatred for Israel and put the blame solely on them, because they would rather foster hate for Israel than help their own people. Israel and Hamas can both be held accountable for the awful quality of life Palestinians have. What a shame. What a shame. I want to thank everybody who's been tuning in. I know the podcasts have been a little shorter lately, but I'm aiming for quality, not quantity. I'd rather them be short and sweet than long and boring. If you're not following me on social media, please do, at Jonathan Randall, across all platforms. Also, I would really love some support on my Ko-fi page. I will put the link in the description. Special thank you to the few individuals that are already supporting me on Ko-fi. It means a lot to me, and you are definitely appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jonathan Randall. How you like me now?